WTF is going on with the Batman Part 2? Today I just wanted to yap a bit about the Batman. This massive news just dropped that Zack Snyder is actually set to direct the Batman Part 2. Now this just absolutely came out of nowhere, and it is a complete and utter lie. No, I'm joking. Look, I'm doing a bit. All right. I want to yap about Batman 2 a little bit, right? Because obviously it's a film that most of us, including myself, are very hyped for. And no, this is not real. Of course, Matt Reeves will return to direct the Batman Part 2. Now, this is kind of the latest news we got on it, which is the Batman Part 2 will begin filming in late May. And, I want to speak on the rumors and stuff and the casting, obviously, Sebastian Stan and Scarlett Johansson. I'll get to that a bit later. Obviously, many people will return, like Zoe Kravitz and, of course, Robert Pattinson, the guy who plays Jim Gordon. I forgot his name. I can't lie. Don't call me a casual. I forgot his fucking name, okay? But Batman Part 2 will begin filming in late May. I just want to say this. I'm not going to lie. I get it, the filming process takes a very long time. It takes a long time to shoot. It takes a long time to the costume design. And look how long it took for Matt Reeves to put the fucking script in, right? So obviously they only just got the script apparently. Why is it taking so long though to start fucking filming? Late May? Like, come on, bro. We're in March. At the time of this recording, we're in March. Early March. March 3rd, to be exact. This movie will begin filming in late May. Late May? Late May. Look, I want it to be generational. I want them to take their time with this movie. I don't want them to rush it. But fucking late May, man. Like, fucking hell. But, I guess this is fine. We know the movie is slated to come out in 2027 sometime. I guess October, right? I think October, December, late 2027 is when the movie is slated to come out. So we are officially going to get GTA 6 before the Batman Part 2. Fucking insane. Again, it is what it is, right? But let's talk a bit about the cast. So, Sebastian Stan has been officially confirmed to play Harvey Dent in the Batman Part 2. And of course, I couldn't really find an image, but Scarlett Johansson as well. So Sebastian Stan will play Harvey Dent. Scarlett Johansson will play his wife. Now, we also know the casting of his father, I believe, Harvey Dent's father. This is exciting. I think Sebastian Stan is a tremendous actor. I think he's, dare I even say, underrated, even though a lot of people are hyped for it. So obviously, I wouldn't say he's underrated because I think people know how good he is, but maybe he's underrated in the sense that people just are like, oh, it's the Winter Soldier. Maybe in that sense, but like he's way better beyond just being the Winter Soldier. He's a tremendous actor. To me, what was that? It was like what a fucking stumble that was. To me, he's perfect. I think he's got the look for Harvey Dent. I think he's got the acting chops for Harvey Dent. He could act angry. He could act modest. I'm excited for this. I want to speculate a bit about the story and some theories that I kind of have about this movie. One theory I kind of have, because I mean, the fact that Scarlett Johansson is cast as the wife of Harvey Dent, not just some like unknown blonde actress or some unknown white woman. The fact that they picked Scarlett Johansson, they paid a pretty penny for that. They fucking paid a lot for that, right? That's not, oh yeah, Scarlett Johansson, $5. No, like, I kind of have a theory that Scarlett Johansson, this might sound stupid, which is why I hope it's not true. I have a strange theory that she might be like the burnt part of Two-Face, if that makes sense. Now you're going to say, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you like retarded? What I mean is that I think Harvey Dent will remain as Harvey Dent. And what if his wife is actually the one that gets burnt, but her whole body is burnt? And she is the evil side of Harvey Dent. So he doesn't get burnt at all. He's perfectly fine. But his evil side is his wife. I don't know. Maybe that's just me trying to be a misogynist and make women evil. I'm joking. But like, that's one theory I kind of had. Because I'm like, why cast such a big name for Harvey Dent's wife? She's a bigger name than Harvey himself, right? Like, she's a pretty big name. And I'm assuming she's going to have a massive role. So I'm just thinking, like, could she be, or maybe she's the one that gets half of her body burnt and she becomes Two-Face. I hope that's also not the case either. These are just theories I'm kind of throwing out and spitballing and just, putting out there. I don't really know if they're true. I hope they're not true. The obvious theory is that Harvey Dent will just be Harvey Dent. He will be, of course, Two-Face. And we don't know if he's going to be the main villain. Like, we don't know if it's going to be a a Dark Knight situation where he's Harvey Dent for most of the film, and then maybe at the end he becomes Two-Face, or does he become Two-Face and then he's the villain of part 3 and the villain of part 2 is maybe someone else? We really don't know. We really don't know. We don't have a clear idea of who's going to be the main villain. At least I don't. At least I don't, right? I haven't really looked into it, so who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's reportedly the villain is Firefly. I don't know. I remember that was going around a bit for a few months. Mr. Freeze is a name I've heard. Clayface, I think. No, Clayface, he's got a movie. No, not Clayface. I'm tripping. Which I'm excited for that, by the way. I can't wait to review that when that fucking comes out. But I don't know. I'm interested in how they handle and tackle Two-Face and even his look, right? Like, is he going to have that traditional half-burnt look? Are they going to try something a bit different? I think they'll just go with the burnt look. I think Matt Reeves wants to keep it grounded, wants to keep it non-fantastical, which I do have I wouldn't say an issue with, but I feel like sometimes, like, this is my honest opinion. Even though I love Batman Part 1 and I'm excited for Batman Part 2, I'm sitting here yapping about it, aren't I? I'm excited for it, no shit, right? But I do kind of have an issue with these Batman directors who, same with Christopher Nolan, they get the reins of, they get the tall task of, my voice, they get the tall task of directing a Batman film, and what they decide to do is, oh, well, let's not make it fantastical whatsoever. And it's just like, when was the last time we've had a fantastical Batman, if ever? You could say what, the fucking Val Kilmer one, rest in peace to him, may God rest his soul, the Val Kilmer Batman. You could say Batman Forever, right? Or the one with George Clooney, but like those are shit. Which, I don't know, maybe are they scared that it's going to come out like goofy? Are they scared that it's going to whatever? I don't know. Because to me, like, we need more of, I hope James Gunn with his Batman, I hope that Batman is completely fantastical. I hope that Batman is just balls to the wall like Clayface and Mr. Freeze, and you got Joker dressed up like a whatever. Like, I just hope it's, because I'm kind of sick of these Batmans where it's just like, no, super realistic, and this Batman, he's just too realistic for me. And again, love these films, don't get me wrong. Dark Knight, one of the greatest films ever. Films, not comic films, films period, right? The other two are amazing as well. Batman 1, one of the greatest superhero films ever. And this one's going to be probably even better. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying, like, I would like for a Batman to be a little bit fantastical. I would like to see Clayface finally on the big screen. I would like to see a Poison Ivy. I would like to see Mr. Freeze. And a fantastical Mr. Freeze. Because knowing Matt Reeves, if we do get a Mr. Freeze, it's going to be a guy in a fucking, like, cold eye. It's going to be, he's not going to be blue. He's just going to be, like, a white guy in a fucking, in a suit. Like, which is kind of what Mr. Freeze is, but at least he's, like, kind of blue, and he's a little bit, like, the character itself is a little bit goofy, right? But, I don't know. That's a bit of my little rant about that. But overall, I'm excited for this film. I think we're probably going to get Joker. I know people might not be happy with that. I don't mind it personally. I love Joker, so I don't really care. But we're probably going to get Joker in some way. Probably at the end. I think they're probably setting up a big Joker Batman type film. Maybe in part 3. Maybe they kind of take a book from one of my favorite games ever, Batman Arkham Asylum. And they do sort of like a Batman Arkham Asylum type of movie, with characters like Two-Face, characters like the Riddler, all these different villains that Batman and of course the Joker, by the way, leading the charge a bit. And Batman has to go through all these villains that he put away. Even villains that maybe we've never seen, like the Calendar Man or whatever the case is. I think that'd be pretty sick as well, right? So that's kind of my hope for the third film, if there is going to be a third film, because look how long this one fucking took. Oh, there's going to be a third one, but it's going to be in 2035, who knows, right? But again, super, super, super excited for this. I think it's going to be a classic. I think the casting is great. Again, if I had to guess what the movie's going to be, it's going to probably be, it's probably going to be Batman having to deal with, him being friends with Harvey Dent. I felt like, the thing is, I feel as though, what's a good reference point is if you play the game, something, Batman Telltale something, but it's a Batman Telltale game. And in one of the seasons, he's best friends with Harvey Dent. And he kind of has to tackle, like, being friends with Harvey Dent, but also, like, he's also Batman, right? So it's just, like, I think that could be something here, right? Because I remember reading something about how, Bruce might have to go through something that he's never had to face in terms of, like, his character. And I think that could be it. The fact that he might have to juggle, like, being good friends with Harvey Dent, but also being Batman. And we'll see. I think that could be a big factor here because that wasn't really explored in The Dark Knight. Bruce and Harvey in The Dark Knight were not really friends. They were kind of just like fighting over Rachel, kind of in like a, like a sort of a sly kind of way, sort of a, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I should read the dictionary more. A sort of a subtle, there you go. It takes me a while. A subtle way. In a bit of a subtle way, they were kind of fighting over Rachel in that movie, right? So, this one, I think it'd be interesting to see them as actually good buddies and best friends and him having to deal with that. And I don't know. I think this could be fascinating. So excited for the Batman. What the fuck is going on with it? I don't know. It's taking a bit long. It's taking longer than I would like, but still hyped for it. Still going to be here. And, the first one, I got to say, I remember watching the first one in theaters, liked it and loved it. I really liked it. How about that? Really liked it. Thought it was great, but I didn't think it was amazing. I rewatched it in my home on my fucking TV. I thought it was incredible. So that's the freaking effect of rewatching movies sometimes. So if you watched the Batman the first time, you didn't love it, give it a rewatch. Just give it a bit of a rewatch. See how you feel about it. But yeah, Batman 2 gonna be fucking sick. Like, comment, share, sub. Let me know your thoughts. Are you hyped for this film as well? I know I am. It's taking a bit long, though. Come on, Matt Reeves. Speed it up, bro. This is easy. This shit should be... Honestly, I am curious why it took him so fucking long to write this script, though. I mean, it better be a fucking... That script better be his magnum opus. Or I'm joking. Take as long as you want. As long as we get an incredible film. That's all that matters. Peace.